Have you ever had the urge to see what it would be like to start a game of zombies on the highest round possible? No, well I have, so I used a mod to skip all the way to round 255 on Moon. And this might have been the hardest challenge of my entire life. I gave myself the rule that I can't leave the spawn room until round 255 begins and zombies start spawning in. That's what makes this more difficult than the round 100 mod you might have seen on other YouTube channels. I don't have the 60 seconds to go get whatever I can. This happens immediately, and about 99% of the games went exactly how you would expect them to. It would take about 2 minutes between restarts for me to spam the skip around button over and over again. But when I did have a successful game, I would head out of the spawn room very carefully. After making my way to the power switch, depending on where their mystery box ended up at, I would either need to train around the MPD very carefully and make a dash for the box. When I felt somewhat comfortable, or if it went to somewhere like the biodome, it gave me a little bit more wiggle room. Throughout all of these games, I tried to get the wave gun wonder weapon because it would be way too easy and boring for me to just go grab a wall weapon and start training around in easy circles. You know what else is easy? Hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps more than you could possibly imagine. And for those of you wondering, I don't use the hacker device to lock the mystery box in a certain location for easier spins, because yeah, it didn't really go too well. The problem is that the zombies are so insanely quick that there's just no time to do it. If this was Black Ops 1, that could work, but for some reason on Moon, specifically in Black Ops 3, if you go through a doorway more than a few feet ahead of the zombies, they will despawn. With those newly spawning zombies also being super quick, it's like the coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb meme. It's just not gonna happen. My dumbass with the M1911 is not killing a full horde of zombies with 14 trillion health. Oh, and while you watch me struggle because you sickos are into that sort of thing, let's explain round 255. It's the highest possible round on Black Ops 3 and is technically an infinite round. There is an end to it where the zombies will stop spawning and you'll hear the round end music, but the round will just begin over and over again. And on this round 255 specifically, there is 5,876 zombies to kill. And as I said, they each have 14.4 trillion health, which is very fun. For context, that would take 14.4 billion ray gun shots to kill a single zombie, so anything that doesn't do infinite damage isn't gonna be helpful. After over an hour of attempts, I did finally give in and pack punch a gun while I was trying to spin the mystery box, but because I took it down earlier on, I didn't have any Juggernog. I also got blindsided by the cosmonaut who grabbed me and took another quick revive. But now I need to go back to the Earth so we can cycle the perk that appears in hopes that the teleporter will recharge during the round again and I can go get my Juggernog back during this game. Yet another down inside of Tunnel 6 kinda crushes my dreams of that, and some fresh spawners finish me off for good. So I kinda took that as my hint to reevaluate the challenge, and that's when I headed over to Origins, and oh boy, what a fucking mistake. My first game here began with me trying to turn on Generator 1 and get quick revive, but I quickly got told I am not welcome there by all the zombies plus 6 Templars, and Generator 2 didn't go much better either. In the next attempt, I did get Generator 1 turned on, but these spawns at Gen 2 are really starting to get brutal. Eventually I did make it out to Generator 4 where Juggernog is, where I tried to take out the Panzer who spawns in, but he took me by the hand and his flamethrower gave me a big ol' snuggle. Next attempt didn't even make it out of the spawn room, neither did the one after that, or the one after that, and finally I decided to come back in a few minutes because my blood was really beginning to boil and I really just wanted to make it out of the spawn room. Luckily for me, the trip mines you can buy near Generator 4 will one-shot the Panzer. Unlucky for me, those zombies were still able to damage me after grabbing a nuke power-up, because why wouldn't they be able to? Next time around, the Panzer went down easier and almost downed while buying Juggernog, since apparently nothing can be bought while the trip mine's in your hand. I opened up the pack punch area and went to Generator 5 where I bought Stamina Up, which is going to be very useful to keep me moving quickly through the mud. For some reason, I also had it in my head at this stage that I would be able to build a staff and use it to help me finish round 255, but only much later on did I really realize just how flawed that idea was. For now though, it was Generator 3 time and I died while trying to turn on Generator 1 for quick revive. After taking another break because my brain was really slowly melting after 4 hours of this, I came back and immediately died in the mud while getting a gun. 5 attempts later, I died again because of Generator 4 and Panzer related issues. I took another break again, and after coming back, I realized that to make any progress on this at all, there needed to be some sort of timer between me spawning in and when the zombies showed up. So I decided that when the round counter rolled over to round 230, I would be able to start moving around, and each round transition takes about 2 seconds, so I did have some time, but not a lot. And this much time either gave me enough time to go turn on Generator 1 and get Quick Revive, or Generator 4 to get Juggernog, but not both. I did luckily get a Panzer dropping a Zombie Blood power up so I could finish Generator 5 in peace and grab my stamina up though. Now here's where things get interesting actually. I thought now would be a good time to try and open the excavation site for the gramophone, because remember, I'm still trying to get a staff. What I didn't remember though was that the stairs don't immediately open and I game overed. About a half dozen more attempts later, I finally had a match where I turned on all 6 generators, which means Pack-a-Punch is finally available. This is also about when I realized that running with a trip mine out gives you a much longer amount of sprint time than normal, and I run faster. With that knowledge, I was able to hoard the zombies far enough away where I was barely able to sneak in one Pack-a-Punch and get out before being surrounded. I repeated the process to give my MP40 a Pack-a-Punch ability, and I got turned, which is pretty good actually. Now I was feeling confident, so I began collecting wind staff parts since it's not snowing and it's the only one of the 3 remaining staffs that can kill zombies on this round. After the second piece, I began spinning the Wonder Fizz for double tap to cut the time it takes for me to use my turn ability in half, but all I kept getting was Widow's Wine or Deadshot. We do eventually get part 3, which means I need a quicker Pack-a-Punch ability like Dead Wire so I can swap to that and head down to the excavation site where I make a terrible mistake. I didn't grab the record, so I can't open the staircase and the zombies surround me, but somehow I get insanely lucky and just barely slip out with my life. Now I grab my perks again and grab the last shield piece, but couldn't get past all the zombies on my way out for yet another down. When I had my perks again, I try to get the free double tap from the reward chest and spawn, but just like every other time in this game, I get swarmed while drinking it. I do eventually get double tap after some incredibly risky Wonder Fizz spins over at Generator 6, but right after building the shield, it was just game over. In the next game, I finally got a decent setup where I was able to Pack-a-Punch 2 guns this time with good perks until I took it down because this weird barrier near Juggernog just wouldn't let me back up for some reason. Also, the death machine really isn't that good on round 255, despite me thinking its damage wasn't affected by the rounds. Like, it really shouldn't be struggling with this. Anyway, after some more Wonder Fizz spinning for double tap, I built the shield and took another down because of course I did. This is why my dad left. Once again, the Generator 6 Wonder Fizz came in clutch with Speed Cola and double tap, so I was actually able to start killing zombies, and I made it through about 500 kills, but all those downs just dug me way too big of a hole. Clearly, Origins was not happening, so it's time for Kino, where at least I can get the Wonder Weapon and Pack-a-Punch ability pretty easily. Man, I really am wrong about pretty much everything today, aren't I? Well, I did actually get off to a good start because my first game, I got Monkey Bombs and the Thunder Gun from my first few mystery box spins. Too bad I actually bought the wrong door and ruined the strategy that I was going to use after that. Look, in my defense, I'd been playing for like 7 hours straight of complete failures, and I hadn't high-rounded Kino der Toten on Black Ops 3 in probably over a year. So eventually I just chalked that game, and in the next one, I did take it down while trying to get the Thunder Gun, but I was able to upgrade the MP40 and put Turned on it, which is exactly what I was looking for. Now I headed up to the old forbidden room above the stage where you can use the electric trap in there and stand behind it for a free 80-ish kills every time you turn it on. The problem is the time in between those traps is when you've got 24 zombies in this small little room and trying to keep getting kills while the trap is recharging. Most of the time things would go well for 4 or 5 trap activations in a row, and then suddenly one badly timed spawn would take me down, especially here when the trap was on and I couldn't run through it without dying, but apparently the fire trap also kills you instantly on Black Ops 3 unlike BO1, so fuck it! Anyway, the next few games were trash, but eventually another good game came around where I was actually able to get Monkey Bombs and the Thunder Gun again without taking any downs. Although I did take it down because zombies spawning in front of me kinda caught me off guard. Another down came from getting sideswiped about a dozen times in less than a second, and that attempt just wasn't gonna be the one. So another 90 minutes later, I finally got my best attempt in where I was able to get the M8A7, which ammo can be bought on the wall in this room, and my Thunder Gun as always was by my side. About 15 minutes into the round, I took my first down because an invisible zombie I think came from the fireworks gave me a red screen and I couldn't heal quickly enough. With some patience though, I was able to get all my perks back and recover, but I did Pack-a-Punch my Thunder Gun for some extra ammo while I was out and around. There was always a lot of close calls because I was never really the best at this strategy, but this to me is way better than dealing with all the Nova Crawlers on the stage and that taking like 4 times longer than this would. And by the time that I was out of quick revives, we were more than halfway way through the round, and it's hard to know exactly where I was because the fireworks don't count kills and neither do the traps, but I knew just based on how long I was playing for. When I had no more quick revives, I was expecting to maybe only last a couple of more minutes, but actually I lasted a lot longer, and that's the first time I can say that in my entire life. But seriously, I was on this attempt for over an hour, and honestly I'm pretty sure I was 90% of the way through the round if my math based on how quickly I was killing was correct. My heart was beating, and I was finally so ready to be done with this fucking challenge after 12 hours in a day of me trying to finish it, and just like that, one tiny mistake ended it all. Now go watch the video coming up on screen right now. It might be my journey to my highest round ever, around 155. I'm not sure what YouTube's going to recommend you, but anyway, thank you for watching. Love you, bye.